Hey out there, everybody. Man, I am super excited to showcase today in my top producer showcase. I've got Danks on here. Derek is one of our producing leaders running Indianapolis with his partner Vince down there. Derek, excited to have you, man. What's going on?
Hey, Bernie, thanks for having me on. It's great to be here.
All right. So, hey, let's start with everybody that I mean, everybody knows Derek Danks, but let's just say somebody doesn't. Give us kind of the I don't know, the 1 minute history of the Derek Dank show down there.
Yeah, I think I told somebody the other day, I've gotten to that age where my list of people that love me is exactly as big as the list of people that hate me. So, you after you do something for a certain amount of time, that's kind of what happens. And like a lot of guys that are in this business that have been in it for a while, I didn't get in it because that's what I chose to do. You know what I mean? So, mortgage
Right.
loan originator when I graduated from college was not really a job. It was just becoming that. There used to be a guy at the bank, and if you needed to buy cows or a house or a car, he was your guy, right? So, there was somebody did financing at the bank, and you wouldn't start in that job out of college. So, it's just been interesting to see how our business has grown over the last
Yeah.
35, 40 years. It's been great.
Yeah. No, amazing. And obviously now top producers down here in the Indiana market. And Derek, I think it's amazing. Your group, your individual production and your group last year actually grew, was up in 2023, where most places were obviously challenged, and we all understand why. So I love that. Now I know, Derek, you work with a lot of realtors,
Yeah.
and I think that's a lost art sometimes. Tell us why you love realtors and why you love supporting their business.
So we work with a lot of realtors and we love those agents because they do what we do. They're trying to help people, right? And, one of my agents that's been around for a while, I tell the clients all the time, she's not like your mom. She's like your favorite aunt. And, the girls on our team, Jessica and Madison, they call her Aunt Janet because she's that aunt that loves you almost as much as your mom. And she's there to help you. And it's just this collaborative effort. Now, one of the upsides to her is she used to be in the mortgage business years ago. So she has
There
this
you go.
really in-depth understanding of what we're doing and why we do it. So she can help with those explanations to the clients. But you know, the number one reason that I work with agents, like I said, is because they're trying to help people, and our businesses fit together that way.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, and they need the money, and we've got the money, but at the same time they've got the clients, and it's a great little symphony, right? It's pretty cool. Okay, love that. So what about? And I know you guys have a big team down there, growing a team, and you guys invest in a lot of younger LOs, a lot of newer LOs, and I think
Yeah.
that's important, right? So what would be your advice right now? Okay, we're February 2024 for a newer LO, or maybe an LO that's a year in the business that's coming to work for you for some mentorship. What would be some advice for that new LO?
So one of the things that we're telling our young guys and the ones that are doing it are having a lot of success is you got to get out there and see people. Okay.
Yeah,
So your cell phone, your computer, all this social media stuff that we didn't used to have, right? I mean, Bernie, you've heard me tell a story that walking in a broker's office when I worked for Chemical Bank and guys were telemarketing out of the white pages, right? You
right.
just called people and say, hey, you got it. Do you own a home? And if the answer was yes, they were going to refi. So there's just all these things, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, that kind of sucks them into staying in their office. And this is still a people business and a people world. And when our young guys get out and they meet face to face with people, the relationships grow, the relationships have more depth, they're real. And that doesn't mean they shouldn't be calling on people in other states because we can do every state, so we should. But the more you can deal with people in person, the better. And that's one of
Yeah,
the big things we're telling them is don't make social media your whole business. It's got to be a leverage point within your personal relationships with your clients and with your agents. So that's
yeah.
our main advice to young people right now.
Yeah. No, I love it. And hey, it's got to be both, and it can leverage each other. But yeah, our young folks that are going out and seeing people, man, it's making a big difference, which is great. And obviously, Derek, you guys have been at TFSB here now for a while. You love the platform. Give me a couple reasons why this platform at the Federal Savings Bank is working for you and your team.
So one of the things I'll tell a builder or that I tell real estate agents or LOs is that it's we're not like anybody else, right? I mean, part of it is we're a federally chartered bank that's owned by two brothers, and we're the bank kind of exists to be in the mortgage business. You just don't find that throughout the country anymore. And you also don't find a place where if you pick up the phone and call the guy that owns his bank, he will answer his cell phone. And he was a loan originator and he will talk
Yeah.
to you about loans and he knows a lot about loans because he made a living doing this for a very long time, just like you, Bernie. So it's like even our upper level management and ownership of the bank, they're all originators. So, if you have a good idea, perfect example would be someone had an idea, maybe we should have our own I-10 product.
Yeah.
A month later, we've got our own I-10 product, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Crazy.
we should do more on the construction side. Next thing you know, we go from one person in the draw department to five. And that starts growing, and we're doing every type of construction loan there is. So the uniqueness of the platform and the big part of it, it's the people, right? It's the people. John's involved
Yeah.
in what we do every day. You're involved in what we do every single day, as much or as little as you want. And that's just unique. Nobody else has the ability to say that to the referral sources and then do all the things we do. You know, if you're an LO, and I tell some LOs, it's like being a professional golfer. There's 50 of you out there. You're all basically the same. But what if they told you you can only have three clubs? Is that, I mean, maybe you're good enough, you don't care. You're like in that movie, the guy, he only needed three clubs, a seven and
Yeah.
but in general, wouldn't it be better to have every club necessary? And that's us, right? Like, well, after you've done it for a while and a client calls you and says, I'm moving to Florida. Oh, I can't do Florida. Well, I'm moving to Texas. I can't do my mom's. Okay, well, I don't have to say no to anything. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you live, we can do your loan. Doesn't matter what product you want, we have that product. Something
Yeah.
weird's going
Huge.
on in your situation, we have portfolio loans. Let's talk about what your situation is and how we can help, right? So the all the tools, all the clubs in our bag, it just
Yeah.
exceeds our competition,
Huge.
which is great.
Huge. Well, and saying yes, man, especially last year when referrals are just hard to come by, you don't want to say no to anybody, right? You
That's
want to say
right.
yes. And that's a home run. Okay. All right, Derek, I love it. We're going to the speed round.
Okay.
You're unprepared. None of these questions. I change them up for everybody we interview. So some of these will be Derek questions, and some of these will be kind of workish questions. So just kind of, take a few seconds, answer, and just maybe elaborate a little bit. Okay. You're obviously having fun. Why is home lending fun for you?
I'm always helping people. And I help people and they have a dream of owning a home and we get to be a little bitty part of that. And it's great.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, huge. Um, what was your number one travel destination of all time?
So far, it's going to Machu Picchu in Peru. And, my wife couldn't have been happier, but it was a chairman's club trip, right? So we went with everybody on the bank, made some really good friends, guys in other groups that I didn't know. And we got to
Yeah,
go to Machu Picchu. It was unbelievable.
yeah, that was a great trip. That was a great trip. Altitude notwithstanding, that was amazing. Okay, you're an Indiana expert. In your opinion, 2024 hottest housing market in Indiana?
You know, the surrounding Indianapolis area. So, it's easy to say Carmel or Fishers, those, but it's growing all around the city of Indianapolis, all the donut counties. And, it's we've been lucky. And that's why I tell people we're in a good market, right?
Yeah,
We have new construction. Why do we have new construction? Well, we're surrounded by farmland. It's easy to build in old farmland. So, but I'd say the hottest market's probably Carmel.
okay, yeah. And it's affordable here, man. There's affordability that we have other challenges in other places. That's for sure. Okay. Number one favorite movie of all time.
Godfather.
The Godfather. That's an easy one. Okay. Okay. That's going to be hard to argue with. That'd be a hard one. Okay. Should I build a house or should I buy a house?
That kind of depends, right? So depends on where you want to be. Location's number one, right? So within the state of Indiana, if you want to be in Bloomington, you're probably buying existing because there's not a lot of new construction in and around Bloomington. There is some, but it's mostly on the outskirts. In Indianapolis and the surrounding area, take your pick. So what are you looking for? What do you want? Where do you want to be? And you'll have your choice between each, and both fall into some affordable categories for people.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Number one thing your wife likes about you.
I do what I'm told.
There we go. That's smart.
Now,
Guys,
understand
hear that?
that took a bunch of years for me to get there, but now I figured out if I just follow instructions and do what I'm told, it's great.
Yeah. So, ladies, we're coachable. We are coachable. I love it. Okay.
She's smarter than me, so what are you going to do?
Absolutely. Okay. A book that you would recommend for a new loan officer.
A Psychology of Money.
Oh, wow. Okay. Psychology. I got to look that one up.
It is one of the best reads about how you as a person and your emotions and how you're tied to your thoughts about money. Okay. And how to, he gives a good example. He worked as a valet in Hollywood. People would pull up in expensive cars. Okay. And he would look at them and say, I wish that was me. And then he said one day it dawned on him, he wasn't thinking the guy driving the car was cool. He thought if he drove that car, he would be cool. But then it dawned on him, I'm thinking people are going to think I'm cool, and I don't think that guy's cool. And he's like, it was just an epiphany of the social construct and how we look at things and money and why you buy certain things. And it's just all that stuff about how to separate from it, to be a saver and get independence from a bunch of debt and running on a wheel all the time. It's a great, great book.
And okay, even I wrote that one down. I love it. Okay. Last question. Will Notre Dame ever win another college football championship?
Next year.
Okay.
They're winning it all.
You think they're ready?
Now, understand that I'm a Notre Dame fan. So when people will tell you, if Notre Dame's in a game and they're down 50-0 at half, Notre Dame fans sitting there going, we're coming back. This will be the most unbelievable second half ever. A Purdue fan, now understand my daughter has an undergrad and a master's degree from Purdue, so I paid the tuition. I'm allowed to say it. A Purdue fan, they're up 50-0 at half, and they're all sitting there at halftime saying, we're going to lose this game. I mean, somehow, and any Purdue fan or Notre Dame fan will tell you those two things are true. So I'm always optimistic that Notre Dame's going to win next year, but they are going to be good. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I would argue that college football is better when Notre Dame is good. So I think that's positive. Okay.
I agree.
Derek, man, this was awesome. Thanks so much for some insight, for some entertainment. And hey, I know you guys are going to crush it in 2024. Have a great year.
Thanks, Bernie. Appreciate the time. It's always great to see you.